Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We left off at a pretty crucial moment last time, and we got ourselves a choice to make. Is it possible that Albert Harebrain's machine was in fact a proper scientific invention, or was it just a conjuring trick? Either way, we're probably going to be a bad... Well, it's not a choice that's going to make everyone happy, and that's for sure. But thinking about it, like, realistically, I think preserving this man's life and is more important than preserving his hypothesis and his machine. And, you know, we can still prove it was an accident regardless, maybe, presumably. I don't know. So I don't know. I know he's not going to like it, but I feel like a conjuring trick is the right answer. But there's no, like, you know, health on the line, so I'm curious what might happen if I do say it was a proper scientific invention. I mean, I assume it's going to lead to the same place regardless, but, you know, just curious. Ag! No, I can't say it. My client places faith in me. I can't just let him down. What must I give up on is not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect? Oh shit! Look! It's Sasato. Man, she knows how to fucking make an entrance. Am I right? And also, she has an ear or an eye for fucking dramatic timing. But either way, gotta say it's good to see you again, Sasato. TBH, I've been kind of missing Sasato. I mean, she was in the last case, so it's not like it's been that long, but still, you gotta have an assistant around to help you out in these games. Gosh darn it, she's the best one in the world. That's what Ryunosuke says, and by golly, it's the truth. Hello again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long. Sus? Sasato-san! Oh. Ooh. Is that like a new remix or something? Not sure exactly. I'm not sure of her. Either way, I like it. It sounds similar to her previous theme, but like it's I don't know, it's more dramatic, so that's pretty cool. But what are you? Oh fuck! Ah! My first Sasato takedown in 6 months. You know, I know for some people they might not want to be taken down, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a badge of honor. It would be my fucking pleasure. There will be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand. Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. Well, I mean, yeah, you can protect this man's life. He ain't gonna be making any more fucking machines or hypotheses, if he's dead, you know? So boy, I shot up quick, didn't I? Professor Harebrain, you weird guy. Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Assman. I think you've come to realize something yourself, too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we most both pursue now. So, you finally opened your eyes. What? And as for you,
Albert, you can't ignore this any longer.
Ah,
Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say?
oh, what, are you gonna say that you didn't actually believe that the kinesis happened in the first place, and that you were just, uh, pretending until we inevitably revealed that it was, in fact, a bunch of BS? And now you're gonna be like, oh, I knew all along? Come on, pal. But, Barack. Lord Van Zykes. Or Zeeks. Gosh. I never heard him speak that way before. Like, I don't know, it's a weird way to talk. I mean, I don't know. It's like when you have a child and you had to make them fess up to the truth. In truth, there is one thing. Something I've remembered that's of relevance. What? Tell us. On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow. Bro, you saw that and you were gonna fucking pretend like it didn't happen? Alright. I beg your pardon? I mean, that's the kind of eyewitness testimony that would help to what's the word? Opposite of incriminate. Yeah, whatever the opposite of incrimination is, that's it. Professor, did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Tall, taller than me, and thin, thinner than me, with straight hair, straighter and whiter than mine. Okay, well, those first two things are fair, but most people, I imagine, have straighter hair than you. Let me see. One less lens than me, too. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man. You see, I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention. Oh. Well, that shakes things up, doesn't it?
What?
He built the machine? Ah, that's right. Mr. Assman introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. That's a pretty cool name. Enoch? Drebber? Do you people know him? Does his name mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered. Not a name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of his nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with that man. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turn out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money. When magicians are in need of money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Can you tell me playing cards you got up in there, bro? Some acquaintances of mine with experience of such things have mentioned Enoch Drebber's name before. The man is both an engineer and a magician. Yes, we're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. Wow, and he's an engineer and a magician. It's pretty badass. That's Enoch Drebber for you. Well, hey, at least now we know a lot about Enoch Drebber, apparently. And also, apparently, Albert was working with him. A bit strange. A bit sus even, but, you know. So it's true then. My invention, my great machine. It was just a grand illusion. Considering what we just heard about Mr. Drebber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypothesis predicted.
Which is why you were so opposed to it being investigated, I presume.
I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypothesis. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, then everything I'd worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Drebber. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Assman and Mr. Drebber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring the research grant money. Man, you were just a fucking pawn in a greater machine. When I announced my invention to the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Well, hey man, you didn't know any better, okay? You were just a boy with a dream.
Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by that fucking name that I fucking always doesn't exactly roll off the tongue very nicely? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry. Well, it would appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Yeah, seems like it. I mean, we gotta figure out what the deal is with this Enoch Drebber cat. Rodman Sykes.
My lord.
The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical. Moist critical.
Yes, Mr. Drebber.
Gather information about the man. If possible, I should like him served with a subpoena.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, down to other friends. Yes, my lord. When we convene, I shall be looking for one thing, and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, it is just a possibility. We don't have any clear evidence one way or the other. I understand. Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning. Bah. Alright, well that's court wrapped up for today. Like I said, I had a feeling Professor Harebrain wouldn't be happy with the outcome, but we made it work out in our favor. And hey, fucking Cesaro's back. So, frankly, I consider that an absolute win. Regardless of what my fuckhead of a defendant wants. I say lovingly. Lovingly a fuckhead, you know? Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, yes? I'm so sorry. I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. How did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry. Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Trevor was really up to, I mean. About what he was really constructing. Naturally! That machine was the embodiment of my hypothesis. Of all my hopes and dreams. I called it Undyne. I had complete faith in it. Alright. In that case, I won't say any more. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands. So we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. Yeah, that's my job. And hey, look, it's Cesaro. He's back. Back again. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrived. Well, I didn't get no fucking postcard. Postcard? What postcard? I hid it from you, Runo, so it would be a surprise. Oh, I see. I'm guessing that was the business that you were occupied with earlier this morning, huh? I mean, yes, it is a nice surprise, but also, if Cesaro-san is coming, you gotta let me know, man. Well, did it work? I was surprised, alright. Especially when she threw me to the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out. Oh, hey, it's okay. As far as I'm concerned, it's a takedown of affection, you know? Maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of emotion in the future. Okay, hush, Ryunosuke. Cesaro can do what he wants. Susie's train was late in London Victoria this morning, you see. But we made the coachman really whip the horses hard, so she didn't miss the whole trial. I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Hey, I don't mind. You don't gotta explain yourself to me. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Oh? Having you at my side in court gives me the strength I need to win. Plus, it's kind of boring not having, you know, an assistant to react to things along with you. So, I'm, delighted to see you, back in London. Oh, you're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course. Of course. What's brought you back? Did Professor Makotoba not protest? Let's save all that conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I've made one of my most special balloons ever for this special occasion. Oh, Iris! How wonderful. I can't wait. Cesaro-san was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time. But despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. Well, hey, but you know, if it's going to be taking an extraordinary turn, I want it to be taken with her by my side. And hey, it's to be continued. So, you know, a nice moment to wrap things up, but I think we can go a little bit longer, you know? I know it's not, it's, you know, it won't be as neat, but this episode, otherwise the episode would be a little short, you know? But anyway, hey, investigation time. And hopefully we can catch up with Zato. Good old Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Oh, this room! It's been too long. It hasn't changed in the slightest, though. It's been some 6 months, hasn't it? That's a long time for things to stay so familiar. I didn't know when you might return, and I wanted everything to be as you'd left it. And it has been some 6 months, it's true. So is your father alright, Susie? What happened? My father? Yes! Professor Mokotoba! I mean, it was half a year ago, but that's why he went back to Japan. Because of the telegram you received saying he'd fallen ill with a very high fever for some unknown reason. That's right. So I was surprised to learn you'd be coming back so soon. Surprised, but happy, of course. I think I wrote about it in my letter to you. That it was all a trick. Yeah, I'm so curious why the fuck he felt the need to do that. I mean, pretending to be sick just so you can come over back to Japan? Like, I don't know, it's a little bit sussy, you know? My father is in fine health, and I'm obviously very relieved about that. Well, we're all delighted to have you back. I guess I'm not going to question any further about why your father would trick you in that way. It was quite by accident that I've been able to return to Europe, actually. It's because of a very grand conference called the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh hey, I remember Strongheart talked about that yesterday. He seemed very excited about it. The International Forensic... That's the same symposium that Lord Strongheart mentioned. Anyway, I've arrived safe and sound, and all that matters is that I'm here now. After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Oh! You must tell us everything that happened while you were back in Japan. Yes, of course, I shall. And there's one other thing. Something you wrote in your letter that particularly grabbed my attention. About... you know who. About Kazuma. I know. I'll tell you all that I can. Oh yeah, because, it's been a little while, but, didn't, I think Mini Memo said something about how Kazuma's body was moved? Like, or, yeah, it was, you know, or it was being kept somewhere, or, otherwise it wasn't accounted for, and no one in Japan knew that he was dead. Which is all a bit strange still, but it was something along those lines. But yeah, I guess we got before we get chatting though, check out my armband. You're still taking good care of that armband, I see. I'm so pleased. Well, yes. It feels like I wouldn't be me without it now, to be honest. Oh dear. There seems to be a thread coming loose, just there. Look! I'd be only too happy to mend it for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, thank you. I must have scraped it against something again. I'm always doing that. Well then take better care of it, please. It was all going so well, until I ruined it. Also, check out this great exhibition newspaper. About this paper, Mrs. Otto. Yes, it's all about the great exhibition. I've been dreaming about it, you know? I was sorry that you were going to miss it when you were called back to Japan. So was I. I felt desperately unlucky. But here I am, back in London while it's underway. It's a dream come true. Well, perhaps you're not as unlucky as you thought, then. Once we've helped Professor Hairbrain out of this terrible situation, we should all explore it all together. And of course, we must invite the Professor's good friend, Lord Van Zeeks, as well. Your luck might not stretch that far. Let's see, is there anything else of interest? Well, Mrs. Otto, do you see this? You have such great expectation in your eyes, Mr. Naruhodo, but I'm afraid, nothing particularly useful comes to mind at all. Oh. Sorry. I'm not sure what I was expecting, really. What about this crossbow? Pretty nifty, huh? This was used to shoot down the balloon, wasn't it? Yes, with a flaming arrow. It's quite a formidable weapon. Yeah, that looks more like a light bow gun than a heavy bow gun to me. I'm quite accomplished with a longbow myself, you know. No. Really? If you were to balance an apple on your head, Mr. Naruhodo, I'm quite confident I could hit it from a good 50 meters away. Quite confident, you say. Does the apple necessarily have to be on my head? I mean, I don't doubt you, but, you know, I still would rather not take my chances, you know? I'm guessing you probably don't have much else to say about the other stuff, though. What about the screwdriver? Called Arthur, apparently. Wait, no, Andrew the screwdriver, not Arthur. Let's examine things a little bit, I guess. Oh, I'm so looking forward to making you some tea again, Mr. Naruhodo. Which you'd think I wouldn't like, given that I'm not keen on bitter flavors, but it is Susanoo-san's tea. And it's amazing what a little cake of something, or something on the side, can do. I would dearly love to serve you some sort of Japanese sweet alongside your matcha green tea. But I suppose that's simply not possible, given how long we've been staying here in London. Well, I do like the little chocolates you put with my tea. They go wonderfully. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! You would, wouldn't you? That gives me a warm glow inside for some reason. Well, hey, I mean, chocolate usually makes me happy too, man. Thinking back, that spade's been in here since we first moved in, hasn't it? I'm sure I told you before, Mr. Naruhodo. It's not a spade, semicolon, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. The great spade shovel war rages on. I mean, I don't know. Is it a spade or is it a shovel? I can't tell just by looking at it. I'm sure you can use them for the same basic purpose. It's like a parasol and an umbrella, you know? You have water gently boiling on the stove, I see. Oh, it feels wrong somehow if I can't hear the water bubbling away. And we have plenty of logs. It's not like we have to worry about paying for gas. Haha, that's fucking Herlog's concern. It's important to open the window for fresh air when the fire's burning low. You can't keep it closed just because it's cold outside. It could be a matter of life and death. Avoiding the freezing winter air is a matter of life and death, too, if you ask me. Oh well. Perhaps a nice cup of tea will warm you up later. Here's my, shit. You see? I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers, as always. You really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruhodo. No more excuses. But Mrs. Zano, the way I see it, all these papers building up on my desk, like this, or a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are, so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences. In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again, and feel that joy renewed. Damn, she called my bluff. Still can't beat her in an argument, even though I'm the lawyer here. Oof. Hey, what about my Dharma, doll? I see your Dharma still has only one eye filled in. Well, we agreed that it's something we do together, didn't we? We can do it right now if you'd like. I'd be happy with that. Oh, well, I rather like the anticipation, I think, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, well, okay, fine. Oh, hi! Jesus, Iris. I didn't know you were still standing there. How's it hanging? I left your desk completely untouched, Mrs. Otto, so we'll be ready for you whenever you returned. It's beautifully clean. There isn't a speck of dust on it anywhere. You've been cleaning in my absence, Mr. Naruhodo. Whatever next? Well, I couldn't allow my great assistant's desk to sit there gathering dust, could I? It really is exactly as it was when I left. I'm so touched. That's... Oh, gosh, you're so sweet. But sadly, your desk is also exactly as it was, too. Well, that's how it should be, after all. Oh, dear. I'd forgotten how that clean-cut smile can be so disarming. Yeah, I'm a good boy. You know it. Anyway, what's up, Iris? It must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. It's about one of Hurley's greatest exploits. I called it The Hound of the Baskervilles. But then Mr. Sholmes forbade you from publishing it, and put the manuscript somewhere nobody could get their hands on it. So nobody knows anything about it, apart from Hurley and I. For some reason, you knew the title of it, didn't you, Susie? Yeah. That she did, for some reason. And also, she was definitely wearing that outfit at the time. Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. And you wouldn't tell me how you'd come to know it. Yes. But I made you a promise that I would explain one day, didn't I? I think it's time. Oh! I'm only sorry I've had to keep it from you for so long, Iris. Ooh. Geez, even another new, like, remix. But also, that's like, I'm gonna say, that's important stuff, so I'm gonna save that for the next episode. But I want to finish examining the room first, because, well, gosh darn it, I want to catch up with Suzato, okay? Jeez. I'm so pleased to see all our sea creatures doing so well in the aquarium. Yes, the prawns are still swimming, and the anemones are still swaying. Obviously, I've been looking after them carefully. At first, I used to drool whenever I looked at those juicy prawns, but not anymore. They're like part of the family now. I don't suppose they'll ever know how close they were to meeting their maker. And of course, can't forget about Susato's room. Your room through there should be exactly as you left it. I've still never been inside. I've never been invited. Of course not. Only Iris is allowed in my room. No doubt I'll be hearing you two giggling away in there again then. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so that's everything to be examined in the room. So I guess we'll be talking about, well, first we're going to be talking to Cesaro, and then talking to Iris about the whole Hound of the Baskervilles business. But that stuff we can save for until next time. Like I said before, I didn't want to end the episode off earlier because, you know, it was kind of short. But I don't mind taking a little extra time, catching up with Cesaro. As far as I'm concerned, it's it's good to have her back. I mean, like I said before, she's based and Cesaro pilled, or maybe I'm Cesaro pilled. I don't know exactly how that works. But regardless, great to have her back. The gang's all here, and it's gonna be great. But until then, until the next episode, I should say, where we deal with all that the exposition business. I'll see you around.